know. It's all about helping people. The gestures are different. Also, you know, it's a lot about you against the wilderness. So there's a lot of times when you might need some help, you know, treacherous mountain passes or a really fast flowing stream that you just might not be able to get across so easily by yourself. A lot of through hikers help each other out through those times. So those are the type of gestures that are out there through hikers. Also, there's these things called trail angels. Well, it's what the through hikers call them. They're actually people who live around the trail who help the through hikers by leaving them food, band-aids, whatever they need. Beer, which is a big one if you've been hiking for a long time. They actually give through hikers places to stay. I read that they let them stay at their house and give them massages and feed them for a couple of days. Let them stay while they're sick and then send them on their way. They're just there to help out whoever's a through hiker. They're mainly hippies or avid outdoorsmen or just lovers of the hikers. I don't know. But it's all about the good gestures and the goodwill towards your other fellow hikers. You try to do your best to help the other ones out. If they need food, you give them food, which is just not common in normal society these days. Now, also, time. Now, time to us it's critical. You have to be somewhere. You have to, you know, make a deadline, make an appointment, be here, do this, do that, do that. It's all based on time. When you wake up, when you go to bed, when you eat, everything. It's nuts. I mean, you're late for a deadline or late for a meeting, and that person considers you inconsiderate. 5 minutes later, they'll be the ones that expect you to open up the door and then don't say thank you. So, yeah, time is to us is very, very important. Now, also to a through hiker, it's very, very important, but not so much in the fact of deadlines, as in you have to be here by 9:30 or so much by that, but it is important in the fact of what time of year you go. You know, you're not going to go hiking in the middle of summer in the Mojave. You're not going to go hiking in the middle of winter in the Sierra Nevadas and 14,000 foot passes. You're not going to go hiking in Washington State during the rainy season. So it's all about timing it out. Also, there is a sort of a deadline on things with food. Most guys have drop-off points. So you have to get there by a certain time or else you're going to run out of food. So time in that aspect is very important. Now, while being on the trail, you'd have no sense of time unless you're have a watch or you're good telling time with the sun, but you don't really pay that much attention to it. The most thing that concerns you is when the sun comes up and when the sun comes down. That pretty much determines your day. So time is not exactly the same as we perceive it or others may perceive it. Now, food. If you were to talk to any through hiker about their journeys, what would be one of the most important things that they would say? They would probably talk about the wonderful vistas they saw and views and mountain passes and mountain glacial lakes and all those great things, but you'd be surprised that most people would come up with food first. Now, food is vital to any person, but to a through hiker, it's so much more important. They're expending 5,000 to 7,000 calories a day. So you can imagine it's quite important that they need to keep eating, and it's always on their mind when the next meal is coming. So food is very, very important. Not only is it important for energy, but also the way it's stored. Now, if you're going to walk 22, 25, 30 miles a day, you need to think about how your food is stored. A through hiker is not going to carry a steak, fresh fruit, or things of that sort because they have high water content. Now, most people now are dehydrating the food to get the water zapped out of it so that they can carry it. Now, you're carrying up to 60 pounds on your back for 20, 30 miles a day. That's going to wear you out. So you have to turn to things like powdered eggs, powdered milk, powdered mashed potatoes, beef jerky, dried fruits. I mean, you name it, it's got to weigh less because you're already carrying so much water that takes up a lot of weight. So you got to be easier on yourself with the weight that you carry because you're already expending so many calories a day. You don't need to expend more because you're carrying too much food or heavier food than you need. The food content also has to be high in calorie content, but low in weight, so you get the most bang for your buck. Also, food is so important, and you get tired of eating those same old things. This, trail that. Add water, add water. So one stops on the trails. They find restaurants in the towns and try to break records of sorts, about how much they can eat and stuff themselves so they're content. So food is very important. Now finally, I'm going to talk about dress. Now, dress is probably the most important thing besides food. Dress is not like we do it here. You can't open up a magazine and see these fashionistas and their dresses and their Manolo Blahniks and their Vera Wang gowns. You wear that in the wilderness and you might get caught dead in it, literally. You can't hike 2,600 miles in a set of stilettos. It's just not going to work for you. What you need proper clothing. You need shirts, short sleeve shirts that are going to be good for when you're walking through deserts. You need pants that are combination pants, short pants that are going to help you get through, whatever. You need pants, you need shorts. You can take off the zippers and there you have shorts. You also need rain jackets. You have to have rain jackets to stay out of the rain. You get cold, wet, you can get sick, you can get pneumonia, you can die. It's that simple. You need warm clothes when you're going through the mountains. You have to have those. You might get hypothermia if you don't. It's just that simple. It's life or death out there. But you also need sunglasses to keep the glare out of your eyes, hats to keep your face from getting burnt. These are all things that you need. But the most important thing that if you talk to any hiker is going to be shoes, footwear. What do you wear? Now there's been a great debate about, do you wear boots or do you wear shoes, tennis shoes, hiking shoes? Now recently guys have turned to hiking shoes or just athletic shoes over boots because boots are much heavier, and after a while it'll start to expend more energy than you need carrying that extra 6 to 8 ounces on each foot over 2,600 miles. It adds up. So guys are turning to tennis shoes. They're lightweight and they're better on your feet. They give you less blisters, which are a hiker's nightmare. And they're just overall better. Now a hiker will go through probably 4 to 5, maybe 6 pairs of shoes on one through hike. But it's vital because a hiker's feet are his best friend. You have to take care of them, or else they're not going to get you all the way to where you need to one end to the other if you're not getting through. You get somewhere, just not through. So those are just some aspects of the through hiking culture. Now it's easy to get caught up in day-to-day life, but if you ever just want to get out there and check out what the through hiking culture is about, there's a lot out there. That's the woods, the wilderness. It's you and nature, and that's it. So the next time someone goes and tells you to take a hike, I think you should do it.